Hello, how's everyone doing? Neil here back in the FM Dugout with episode 3 of the San Marino Dream Team. So Cristiano Ronaldo has joined the San Marino national squad. Now, any of you out there with a good eye will have seen already that under the player status, Cristiano Ronaldo retired in November 2015. So he was with the squad for a little over a year, which was probably enough to cover the Euro 2016 qualifier campaign. So, in that time, he scored 5 goals in 12 appearances, which I think is a fantastic return for playing for San Marino. If that had been for any other national squad, scoring 1 and 2 is pretty good going. But for San Marino, when there's 3 decent players in there, is really quite exceptional. I think if he had stayed on longer, we might have seen a different outcome. So the fact that he actually retired a year in brings me to an interesting point. I'm making a rule in this series that I cannot go back on any decisions that I've made, and I cannot rerun any simulations. So Ronaldo was added and he's only been there for a year. Well, that's how it's going to play out. It might be that he did that because it's San Marino and as a nation they don't have a good reputation. It might be because they didn't look like they were going to qualify or they hadn't qualified for the next major tournament. It might be because he looks at the players around him and doesn't see much potential. Who knows? But that's what this whole series is about. It's about getting more knowledge of how this game's actually going to work. How does a small nation transform itself into a big one? Can you just add players to it and things will work without having a manager, for instance? So that might be one of the other things that we do when we have 11 players. If we don't win a major tournament, a manager might come in. So Ronaldo's here to stay and he'll be here for every other episode, and we'll keep a close eye on whether or not he's going to retire. So how did the other guys do? Well, let's take a look at Lionel Messi. So Messi has also retired. He got to the end of the World Cup qualification campaign. Now Messi this time has only scored 3 goals in 27 appearances, which is a pretty poor return for him. Possibly he was played out in the wing or in midfield. Don't know. It depends what formation San Marino went with. If they went with one up top, it certainly seems like it was Ronaldo to begin with. You would have thought Messi would have carried on scoring as he did in the previous episode, but clearly he hasn't done that. Now Manuel Neuer has managed to keep a clean sheet. If we go back to 2015, we'll see one of our wins against Estonia was 2-0. So we're really making some progress having the 3 players, because Ronaldo was still in the squad at this time. 2 back-to-back wins there and a draw in the first, so in 2014 saw us with 7 points and we finished above Estonia, which I think is a really, really good milestone for this experiment. And I think moving up to 4 players, we would expect to at least do just as well as that. Now, on that 4th player, based on some of these score lines, losing 5 goals to New Zealand in a friendly, I'm going to be looking at adding a central defender. So leave me some comments on who you think that player could be, any suggestions. I have a player in mind, but if anyone else wants to put it in there, I'm more than happy to run a simulation with that. And if I've already done the simulation by that point, I'll add them in as the second centre-back in a later episode. So moving on from there, once Ronaldo had retired, things really went downhill. Didn't win a game, whether it was a friendly or a competitive game in 2016. 2017, at least they won a friendly against Hong Kong, but lost all their competitive games and then drew against Chinese Taipei. So 3 players again hasn't managed to do it. One of the things that I kind of realised in the last few episodes was I never actually went and said who won the World Cup, because obviously we're doing a simulation here. So Germany won it in 2018, so they've actually retained their title. In terms of the European Championship, let's take a look now and see who won that. So it was actually Belgium in 2016. So that's something that as well, I'll have a look and see how this changes over the course of the simulations, because obviously we're actually taking some of the players out of these teams. So we've taken Neuer out of the German squad. They've still managed to win the World Cup in 2018. So I think so far the series is quite interesting, but we'll just progress on to episode 4 with the new centre back. As ever, leave me your comments on the video. Did you like the montage at the start with the views of the games that we actually got something out of, you know, the draws and the wins, because previously you wouldn't have seen that. You know, if you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the thumbs down if you thought it was a load of crap, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to try and keep these videos coming out as often as possible, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.